I've broken down the whole process of moving to the UK as a nurse into 8 steps. And in each step, I really went into detail to discuss what it entails and what you have to do. So stay tuned. Step 1. You need to be a registered nurse in your own country, either by completing your BNSC, which is 5 years, and you get your BNSC certificate and your RN license, or you go through the diploma route to complete your RN for 3 years, and then you get your RN license. So the only people that are eligible to go through this process of migrating to the UK are qualified registered nurses. Okay, UK does not employ quack. So if you're a quack, forget about it. Only registered nurses are eligible to go through this process. Now moving on to step 2 is that you need to have at least 1 year of work experience. Normally, you probably would get a job without experience, but it's advisable to have at least 1 year of experience. This is because, number one, the UK job market for nurses and other medical professionals is now competitive. And this is not because there are no jobs available. The pandemic has caused a lot of things to slow down. The way that UK was recruiting 2 years ago or last year is different from how the recruitment is since the beginning of this pandemic last year. So it's very competitive. It's advisable that you have, experience that you can present forward to your employer. And experience is also useful in the case of, getting a reference, because during the process of job application, you actually need to submit a reference to your employer. So there's high chance that you actually get a job if you have experience, prior to applying for that job. So get at least 1 year of experience before you apply for a job. Step 1 and 2 is the basic part. And step 3 is where the work actually starts. And this is the point where you write and pass your IELTS. So what is IELTS? IELTS is an international English language test that is used to determine your proficiency level in English language, and mostly is required for people that intend to work and study in an English-speaking country. There are 2 types of the IELTS exam, which is the IELTS Academic and the IELTS General. But for the purpose of migrating to the UK as a nurse, the one that you need to write is the IELTS Academic. And presently in Nigeria, there are 2 bodies that actually conduct the exam, which is the British Council and the IDP IELTS. So you can decide to write whichever one you want. It doesn't matter, as long as you get the required score. So the British Council IELTS costs about £140 now. That's 79,000 naira in Nigeria. And the IDP IELTS cost about £142, which is about 75,000 naira in Nigeria. So it's basically the same exam set by the same people, the same standards and everything. So whichever one you decide to write is fine. The IELTS exam generally is divided into 4 sections, just to give you a brief overview. And that is the listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And for the listening, reading, and the speaking part, you need a minimum of 7.0 for that aspect and a minimum of 6.5 score for the writing. This is the basic requirement to get a job in the UK and even to have your visa approved, and to even start the whole immigration process, you need to have this IELTS score. It's mandatory, it's compulsory. IELTS exam is valid for 2 years. So once you write this exam and then you pass it, make use of it as soon as possible. Don't leave it lying around, because after 2 years, it's going to expire and then you won't be able to use it again. So once you get your score required in IELTS, continue with the process and then just get it done with. I'll drop the link to the British Council and the IDP IELTS in the description box, so you can go there and check them out. You can write your IELTS when you are into the process already, but it's generally advisable that you just do your IELTS and get it done with before you dive in deep into the whole process, because that will keep your mind settled. Your mind will be at rest. In case you fail it, you'll have enough time to rewrite it before you move into the process. After you have passed your IELTS, then the next thing is to start your registration with NMC UK by going to their website. I'll drop the link to their website in the description. And you need to pay a registration fee of about £150. After paying the registration fee, then you have a personalized NMC portal where you can monitor the whole registration process. And at this point is when they will now send an email to NMCN or the NMC of whatever country that you are in. They're going to send an email to them to verify that you are a registered nurse in that country. This is the process that normally takes a long time. It takes weeks, sometimes months to complete. So at this point, you really need to be patient. Once your verification is successful, then you're going to get an email to register for your CBT with Pearson VUE. What is CBT? CBT is just a computer-based exam that is designed to test your knowledge and your understanding of different areas of nursing and midwifery. For the CBT, you have to pay about £90 for the exam, and it's just a 4 hours exam, 120 multiple choice questions that you need to do. There are a lot of resources and practice questions that you can use to prepare for your CBT. After passing your CBT, then you need to move to the next step, which is looking for a job. Right now, this step is actually what is keeping a lot of people hanging, because different things has happened since last year. The pandemic, for example, has made a lot of things to slow down, and there's a lot of backlog. And also this news about stopping active recruitment has also made a lot of things really tight. So there's a lot of competition in the market. Before, a lot of employers will choose someone from Africa or someone from all these countries that active employment has been stopped. They will consider other countries, especially in Asia, like the Philippines and India, where the UK government have sort of a deal with them to actively recruit nurses from them. So you see that the competition is really tight. So you need to put yourself and actually be proactive in order to get a job at this point in time. So to do this, you need to package your CV very well. Make your CV attractive. You must package your CV in a way that is going to catch the attention of your employers, and you must also know how to perform well in your interview. Gone are the days where you can just, wing it and then, you get a job, because there are a lot of job offers. There are lots of agencies that are involved that are actively recruiting. But right now, at this point, it's not the same. So you need to really be proactive when it comes to looking for a job. There are no agencies involved again, so you really need to be actively, searching for the jobs by yourself. The jobs will not come to you again, and it's doable. You can do it yourself. There are different websites that you can go to, either for NHS jobs or care homes jobs. You can go there, apply, submit your CV. And I'm going to drop some links to websites that you can apply for jobs by yourself. I'm going to drop it in the description box. So just go and check it out, register and apply for jobs that you can see. Once an employer has seen your CV and it's interesting to them, then they're going to call you for an interview. And once they call you in for an interview, know that at that point they've considered you, that you might get the job. You just need to do your best and perform well in the interview. So you attend the interview, and if everything goes well, they are going to give you an offer. Now, be careful not to sign offers from different employers, because that can actually cause problem for you, even cause problem for you with the Home Office. So you can get different offers, but don't accept multiple offers. So once they give you an offer, one thing you need to do at this stage is to read your offer letter properly. Look at the terms and conditions, look at the terms of the contract, look at the location, look at the salary, look at every other benefit that comes with the job. And if it's okay with you, then go ahead, sign the contract and send it back to them. If you've not watched my video stating top mistakes that immigrants make when moving to the UK, I'm going to link it somewhere up there. So just click on the video and also watch it, and then you are going to see the importance of doing your research and getting enough information. The next step, which is step 7, is the visa application stage, and this is the stage where you need to apply for your visa, obviously. And at this point, your employer must have given you something called a certificate of sponsorship. And this is one of the most important documents that you need for your visa to be approved. At this point, you also need all other documents like your IELTS results, your CBT results, your passport, and you also need to do TB test. I think TB test cost about 59,000 naira, thereabouts now in Nigeria. And you also need to do a police clearance. And for the police clearance, just budget like 10,000 naira for that. So at this point, you need to work with your employer. After your visa has been approved, know that it is time to book your ticket, and at this point, you are on your way to UK. Coming to the UK is not to start working as a nurse directly. You still need to go through the last stage, which is writing your OSCE. And this is the final and the second test of competence that you need to write. And this is the practical. This is just basically you doing some procedures, and then you have an examiner that will be marking you. The examiner will not talk. They'll just be there observing and, marking you, scoring you, how you are doing those procedures. But earlier on in the process, don't really worry too much about the OSCE, because ideally your employer should train you for the OSCE. The OSCE costs about £794. Most employers are responsible for this. In fact, they should be responsible for this. You need to read your offer letter, because that is one thing that you need to look at if your employer is going to be paying for your OSCE. So they're going to pay for it, and they're going to also provide trainings. After passing your OSCE, then you're going to get your PIN. And once you get your PIN, that is an evidence to show that you are now a registered nurse in the UK. If you have watched this video to this point, I'm sure that you've gotten some worth of value from this video. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the bell notification, and give this video a like. Before I end this video, I would like to emphasize this. You do not need to pay anybody to bring you to the UK as a nurse. You don't need to go into any deal with anybody to remove probably a portion of your salary as a reward for bringing you to UK as a nurse. It is free of charge. You don't need to pay anybody. The only things you need to pay for are your exams and the legitimate costs that are involved, and everything I've listed in this video. So do not pay anybody. Do not let anybody scam you. On that note, this video is coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next video.